Today, we're diving into all the exciting changes coming with version 5, and I'll also touch on the upcoming artifact sets we can expect in version 6.3. There's a lot to unpack, from character reworks to some really interesting new additions. So if you're a fan of character builds, team synergies, or just love keeping up with the game, stick around and let's talk about what's coming. All right, let's start with the big character changes in version 5. First up, we've got Klee, and her C2 change is a huge deal. Previously, her Death Shred only triggered when she dealt damage, but now it activates simply by hitting an enemy. This means it works on more enemy types. It's more reliable against shielded enemies. You no longer need a specific damage condition. This is especially good for Klee, since it makes her Death Shred much easier to trigger and gives her more flexibility in team comps. Next, we have Jehovah, whose C6 just got an upgrade. If you're familiar with her Purloined Treasure Flask, you know it's all about charging it up for bonuses. Now, when the flask is fully charged, nearby moon sign characters gain a crit rate and crit DMG boost for 20 seconds. This makes Jehovah a much stronger support for moon sign units and adds great synergy if you're already running those characters. It's a subtle change, but it really enhances her role as a buffer. Moving on to Venti. At first glance, the changes may not seem huge, but once you see them in action, the synergy potential becomes obvious. His new Hexerai affiliation brings him into the growing network of synergy-based team comps in this version. When you have at least 2 Hexerai characters in your party, Benny's wins Grand Ode. His burst gains an extra buff window after any nearby character triggers swirl. For the next 4 seconds, all Hexerai characters get plus 50% DMG. Veni's Stormeye deals 135% of its original damage. This pushes Veni into a strong hybrid support/DPS role, especially in teams that focus on swirl reactions. It's not a massive rework, but it definitely improves his utility and synergy potential. Now, let's talk about Albedo. His P4 change gives him new value thanks to his Hexerai affinity. When he hits an enemy with his elemental skill, he now generates silver isotopes, which apply buffs such as increased DMG for Hexerai characters. His solar isotopes also now buff the entire team based on his DF, which is fantastic for both his personal damage and team-wide support. If you've already built Albedo around DF, this patch gives you even more reasons to keep stacking it. And now, Durin. Oh, Durin, his version 5 changes are a bit of a mixed bag. On the bright side, his elemental skill now undergoes a full transmutation process, shifting into 2 modes: Confirmation of Purity and Denial of Darkness. These forms change how his attacks function and allow him to restore elemental energy during combat. Every 6 seconds when entering one of these states, he generates energy for your whole team, which is a great boost for energy management. He's a solid addition to any team that needs a reliable pyro plyo. But yes, he still can't fly. We're still just gliding. Definitely feels like a missed opportunity for exploration, but in combat, he remains useful and versatile. But even with that limitation, Durin is still a solid option for support and pyro application, especially when you pair him with characters like Mona or Klee. Speaking of Mona, she's also getting a few notable adjustments. Her P4 change slightly nerfs her Vaporize potential, since the Vaporize bonus per stack has been reduced from 10% to 5%. It's not a huge downgrade, but it does lower her overall burst damage in pure vape teams. On the bright side, her C2 and C6 changes make her much better in charged attack setups. C2 removes the old cooldown limits, letting her trigger charged attacks faster and more consistently, which makes her feel a lot smoother to play. And with C6, she can deal some absurd charged attack damage on enemies affected by Omen, hitting up to a 180% bonus. So even though her vaporized damage got toned down a bit, these buffs make her kit more dynamic and give her stronger burst potential in the right teams. She definitely still has a place in endgame content. Overall, version 5 feels like a patch full of fine-tuning. There aren't any game-breaking reworks, but a lot of characters are receiving small, meaningful buffs that make their kits more consistent and rewarding to use. Klee's C2 now reliably applies Death Shred on hit, which gives her way more flexibility against all kinds of enemies, especially shielded ones. Venti and Albedo both get synergy boosts through the Hexarai mechanic, making them more valuable in reaction-based team comps. These aren't flashy changes, but they smooth out the gameplay experience and open up more team-building options. Before we wrap up, let's talk about something really exciting coming in version 6.3, new artifact sets. There will be 2 new sets planned for Colombina, one of the upcoming Hexarai characters. The first set is tailored specifically for her kit, and the second set is designed to support characters who use the Hexarai mechanic. These sets look like they'll significantly enhance synergy between Hexarai units. So if you're planning to build Colombina or other Hexarai characters like Venti or Mona, these artifact sets are going to be must-haves. The synergy between characters like Mona and Durin, for example, becomes even stronger with these pieces, especially since they boost elemental damage and off-field support abilities. It's exciting to see how these sets are shaping up to support Hexarai-focused teams, and it feels like we're going to get even more characters and interactions built around this theme in future patches. These artifacts should encourage more diverse team compositions, especially if you like mixing off-field supports with strong DPS characters like Mona or Veni. And that's all the major changes for version 5, along with a sneak peek at what's coming in 6.3. Team synergy keeps evolving, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how these updates shake up the meta. Whether you're trying to mix and match your favorite Hexarai characters or figuring out where Durin fits into your team, these changes should give you plenty of new options to experiment with. Let me know in the comments what you're most excited about, or which change you think will impact the meta the most. If you want more updates and analysis like this, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.